Chairman Franks, Ranking Member Cohen, and distinguished members of the subcommittee, I am grateful and honored to have been invited to testify today in support of the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. In 2000 and 2001, Jill Stanek testified before this committee about her experience as a registered nurse, where she discovered babies born alive after an attempted abortion and left to die in the department's soiled utility closet. In 2002, Congress responded by passing the Born Alive Infants Protection Act, which was signed by President George W. Bush and is current federal law. It passed by voice vote in the House and with unanimous consent in the Senate. Unfortunately, incidents involving born-alive children being killed after an attempted abortion have continued after this law and into the present. Infanticide is unacceptable in a civilized society, regardless of what one may think about abortion itself. Up to 2010, abortionist Kermit Gosnell operated his dirty and dangerous abortion facility where he did hundreds of snippings of born-alive babies as part of his abortion process. The grand jury report noted, many of the women gave birth before he even got there. When you perform late-term abortions by inducing labor, you get babies, live, breathing, squirming babies. Gosnell had a simple solution for the unwanted babies he delivered. He killed them by sticking scissors into the back of the baby's neck and cutting the spinal cord. See, for example, the image of baby boy B, who was found in his facility. Federal and state authorities finally raided his facility, not because he was illegally killing born-alive infants, but because of his illegal prescription drug activity. While Gosnell's case was particularly gruesome, he is not an outlier. A former employee of current Texas abortionist Douglas Karpin described how he regularly killed babies born alive by snipping their spinal cords, fatally injuring them with blows to the soft spot on their heads and twisting their necks. She said, "I'm pretty sure I was seeing at least 3 or 4 large babies that were completely delivered in some way or another daily. When the fetus would come completely out, of course the fetus would still be alive because it was still moving. Of course you could see the stomach breathing, and that's when he would do this." Yet despite the gruesome photo and eyewitness evidence, Karpin was cleared in December 2013. The Center for Medical Progress, in its investigative videos, authenticated by an in-depth forensic analysis report, revealed a lot of evidence of babies killed after being born alive. For example, Peron Larten, a procurement manager from Advanced Bioscience Resources, said, "The whole point is not to have a live birth. I literally have women come in and say they'll go into the OR and they're back out in 3 minutes. And I'm going, what's going on? Oh yeah, the fetus was already in the vaginal canal whenever we put her in the stirrups. It just fell out." Holly O'Donnell, a former procurement technician with STEM Express, recounted one incident where her supervisor said, "Want to see something kind of cool?" And she just tapped the heart and it started beating. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this fetus and its heart is beating. Data that the CDC collects also confirms that babies are born alive after attempted abortions. Between the years 2003 and 2014, there were somewhere between 376 and 588 infant deaths under the medical code P96.4, which keeps tracks of babies born alive after the termination of pregnancy. The CDC concluded that of the 588 babies, 143 were definitively born alive after an attempted abortion, and they lived from minutes to 1 or more days, with 48% of the babies living between 1 to 4 hours. It also admitted that it's possible the number is an underestimate. We know it's an underestimate because these are just the reported numbers from hospitals, not from the abortion facilities. Gosnell is only one abortionist who is responsible for hundreds of snippings of born-alive babies, yet he did not report even one. His numbers alone exceed the definitive numbers of the CDC. Even one baby born alive after an attempted abortion who is then killed is one too many. But we are talking hundreds of reported ones. Yet not one person to date has been charged or convicted under the current federal law. Due to developments in technology, babies who are considered extremely preterm can now survive outside the womb as early as 20 and 21 weeks post-fertilization. Recent Science Journal articles announced, with 67% surviving after receiving active care. Here, for example, is Lucas Moore, who was born at 21 weeks post-fertilization and 1 year later. Dr. David Birchfield, the chief of neonatology at the University of Florida, said, "It confirms if you don't do anything, these babies will not make it, and if you do something, some of them will make it." This is why we need the proposed Born Alive Act. It explicitly requires healthcare practitioners to treat born-alive abortion survivors with the same care they would treat any other born-alive baby and admit such babies immediately to the hospital. It provides enforcement mechanisms such as criminal sanctions and penalties to hold abortionists accountable for killing born-alive infants. And the bill also expressly excludes any prosecution of the mother of a baby born alive, and it gives her a private right of action to seek relief if the abortionist were to kill her born alive baby. The White House has promised that it would veto the born alive legislation, citing it would have a chilling effect. I cannot think of a more chilling effect than continuing to let U.S. abortionists commit infanticide. Born alive babies after an attempted abortion are already recognized as legal persons since the 2002 Born Alive law. The proposed Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act simply recognizes the obligations that follow from this reality to ensure that babies born alive after attempted abortions will be given the best medical care available and full and equal protection under our laws. I earnestly ask that you support this bill to stop infanticide in the United States. Thank you.